this video is going to help you learn a little bit about Google Sites and how you can add pages, and we'll even go a little bit more in depth and talk about how you can change the navigation area of the site from sidebar navigation to a horizontal navigation. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to use this demo site, and the first thing we want to do is add a new page. So that happens up here on the New Page button in the top right-hand corner. When I click that, it's going to open up this window, and it's going to give me the option to name my page. And that will also build the address or URL of that page. So I'm just going to call it simple. And it built it based on my site's web address, and I can go in and change this URL if I want to, but for this demonstration I'm just going to leave it as is. At this point in time I can choose what kind of web page I'm going to select, and if I'm not sure what all of these do, clicking Learn More brings up a pretty good example of the different kinds of pages that you would have. Again, for just the purpose of what we're doing today, I'm just going to leave it on web page. I'm going to have the page go at the top level. However, I could choose a different location from within the tree structure here. So as soon as I know that I've got it just the way I want it, I'm going to go ahead and click Create. So it's going to open up the page, and that page will be in editing mode already. So you'll see it's been added to the sidebar navigation. So here's the home page that I originally was on, and you'll see the page Simple has been added on this navigation as well. I could add some text to the page, and maybe I can. There we go. And of course I could always go in and insert images or any of the other gadgets or Google tools or anything like that within my page. It's just like any other page that I would edit. So as soon as I'm done, I'm going to click Save. And what's nice about this navigation on the side here is that it automatically populates the new pages that I create along the side here. So I've got many people who are asking me, how do you build the pages where the navigation builds across the top? And it becomes a little more complicated because unlike this sidebar navigation that populates the pages as it goes, the horizontal navigation, which would build tabs or boxes across the top, does not populate it in the same way. So I'm going to show you how to do that next. So much like you would go to look at lots of the tools within the website, you're going to go down to Edit Site Layout. And you'll notice that your sidebar navigation is kind of gray when compared to horizontal navigation here. And that's because sidebar navigation has been activated. So if you watch down here where the navigation appears, if I click on it, it turns it off and it toggles it back on if I click it back a second time. The same kind of thing happens within other areas of the layout here. So the header, same kind of thing. It's an off, okay, or back on. And the horizontal navigation is what I get the questions about. How do I add that? So the first thing you need to do is you need to enable it. And we're going to do that just by clicking it on. Okay, and you'll notice that home is the only one that populated, even though I have this other page called Simple here. So that's because you have to actually add it yourself. So that's one of the drawbacks of horizontal navigation, is that you have to know the steps to go in and add it after you've done it. So as soon as I've turned on horizontal navigation, I can turn off sidebar navigation if I want to. So now I only see that, and you'll see it gives a nice space for your text and all of your information on the page without the breakup of having that sidebar along the side. I'm going to go ahead and click Close. And you'll see that now I just have home. But if I navigate away from this page called Simple, I don't have a button to push to go back to it. So I want it to populate that button across the top. So this time I'm going to go up to More, and instead of going down to Edit Site Layout, I'm going to click on Manage Site. And the page will refresh, and this is where a lot of different things occur that you can do in order to help change about your website. So you might remember we've done some things with themes and colors in the past. So we're going to go on to the Pages tab. And you'll see I do have 2 pages here. So they're here. Sometimes when people come here, they've added a page several times thinking that it's going to show up in the horizontal navigation, and it doesn't. So I ask people to come here and see what pages you've had added. So once you know that you have your page here, and we knew it was there, we're just kind of confirming that. I'm going to click back to Demo, and this time I'm going to go to More, and I'm going to go back to Edit Site Layout. And I've turned on horizontal navigation, so this is the location where horizontal navigation will appear if I have it turned on. And you can see as soon as I've hovered over it, it says Edit Horizontal Navigation. So that's what I want to do. So I'm going to click on that area. And it's asking me if I'm ready to configure that navigation. So right now, I only have the home page showing. And maybe I want to add a page. So I'm going to select a page to add, and you can see that simple page shows up here just like it did when I looked at all the pages when I went into the previous window to check how many pages I had. So I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to click OK. Let me do that one more time. I'm going to click on Simple and click OK. So Simple appears here. If I had several pages stacked up here, I could change the order by using these buttons here, or if I want under the Home button a flyout to show Simple, then I'm going to adjust it so it's indented. Okay, I'm not going to do that at this point, but I'm going to leave it there. You also might consider that sometimes you don't want a page to appear right away. Sometimes you might want to work on a page and then wait to put it in your navigation until you're actually ready. And then when you're ready, come to this location, add it in, and it's a completed page as opposed to on that sidebar navigation where it appears right away. So I can change the style from boxes to tabs to links, whichever you like, and then click OK. So now when my page refreshes, you see I have Simple and I have Home. I'm still in that editing part, and you can tell that because things are kind of lighting up as I'm going along the way. So I'm going to click Close. I'm just going to review that one more time. So if I have a page that I want to add, I go ahead and give my page a name, and I can determine the type and the location, and I click Create. Once that page loads, it's in editing mode. I can put text on the page and save that. However, because I have horizontal navigation, it's not going to automatically populate. In order to get to that, I'm going to click on More. I'm going to go down to Edit Site Layout. And then because I've turned it on, I've got it highlighted. I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to say Add Page. And any pages that I have will show up, and I click OK. It will now appear up here, and I can change the location using the arrows. In this case, I'm just going to demo how something might fly out. So I'm going to bump it in just one tab stop, and I'm going to click OK. So now when the page refreshes, it doesn't appear that anything has changed, but if I hover over Simple, hang on, I'm going to close that. If I hover over Simple, you'll see that flyout comes up, and there's that new page that I've created. If later I decide I don't want that and I want it to be its own page, I go up to More, Edit Site Layout, I click on the horizontal navigation, I click on that new page, and I bump it back left, and I say OK and close, and my pages will be saved, and now New Page does appear as its own tab. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to let somebody on the tech team know, and we'd be happy to give you a hand on this. And it's also something that is pretty active in Google searches as well. So if you Google the question about how to work with the horizontal navigation, you'll find quite a bit of responses for that.